What's up, guys? It's Benny. I hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving holiday. I hope that you prayed around your Thanksgiving table for the two National Guards members who are in critical condition after a Thanksgiving Eve massacre by an Afghan national left two National Guard members shot in the head at point-blank range in a targeted assassination and terrorist attack against our U.S. militaries on the streets of the Capitol, right next to the White House. Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump giving us something to be thankful for this morning in this post, an absolute tour de force, changing American immigration policy forever. You're just going to love it. The MAGA base and America First movements are cheering President Trump, responding, obviously, to the Afghan national who screamed Allahu Akbar and then took the lives, or attempted to take the lives, of DC National Guard members, actually National Guards members from West Virginia that were serving in Washington, D.C. Here are their photographs. They were said to have been sworn in just 24 hours before they were shot. Backstrom died from her injuries on Thursday evening. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see here that there is still a National Guardsman that is clinging to life. The young woman from West Virginia has succumbed to her injuries because of this absolute animal and monster who was brought into America by our tax dollars. We paid to have this animal brought into this country so that he could commit terrorism on our soil instead of on Afghani soil. Is enraged. Everyone in this nation, everybody should be demanding change. And now we're getting it. President Trump says he'll permanently pause migration from all third world countries. Only reverse migration can cure this situation. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all. Reverse migration, remigration. Ladies and gentlemen, we're finally here. This is the moment we have been waiting for. Let's read through this President Trump post. Every bit of it deserves to be hung in a museum. It's the greatest post from our president in history. Here we go. A very happy Thanksgiving situation to all of our great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice, allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world for being politically correct and just plain stupid when it comes to immigration. The official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people, census, most of which are on welfare from failed nations, from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, and drug cartels. They and their children are supported through the massive payments of patriotic American citizens because of their beautiful hearts and do not want to openly complain or cause trouble in any way, shape, or form. They put up with what has happened to our country, but it's eating them alive to do so. A migrant earning $30,000 a year with a green card will get roughly $50,000 a year in benefits for their family. The real migrant population is much higher. The refugee burden is the leading cause of social dysfunction in America. Absolutely true. Something that did not exist after World War II. Failed schools, high crime, urban decay, overcrowded hospitals, housing shortages, large deficits, etc. An example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over a once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey, as our wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing, either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst congressman woman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab, who probably came into the USA illegally, in that you are not allowed to marry your brother. Does nothing but hatefully complain that about our country and its constitution and how badly she is treated, when her place of origin is a decadent, backward, and crime-ridden nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government, military, police, schools, etc. Even as we have progressed technologically, immigration policy has eroded those gains and living conditions for many. True, true, true. I will permanently pause all migration from the third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover, terminate all of those millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or incapable of loving our country, end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens in our countries, denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. The angels sing, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue here. These goals will be pursued with the aim of achieving major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations, including those admitted through an unauthorized and illegal auto pen approval process. Only reverse migration can fully cure the situation. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all, except those who hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything that America stands for. You won't be here long. I don't know. There's no sound effect to properly convey exactly how incredible this post is. This is the greatest post ever posted in the history of. This is the greatest speech ever given. These are the greatest words ever put out by a president in your lifetime or mine, or in any lifetime. Reverse migration can fully cure the situation. You have to send them home. You have to send them home. There are incompatibilities with Western culture, and we keep bringing people in masse from cultures that hate our country. Reverse migration. So the biggest takeaways from all of this is that President Trump is officially over having any immigration from the third world into our country. There has never been any justification for it. There never will be. I cannot emphasize enough. There are populations that are wholly and totally incompatible with Western civilization. Liberals used to understand this. Liberals used to want things like free speech, freedom of religion, women's rights, security rights. This used to be things that liberals cared about. Now it's wholly unto the conservative, because liberals decided that they can't win without enormous numbers of criminal aliens and the criminal votes. They've decided to just throw all of those principles directly into the gutter and just say, no, it is important that we flood our nation with people that are incompatible with our culture. That is ending. That has been a failed policy practiced throughout Europe and practiced here in America. But it's harder to get to America from the Middle East or Africa. And so that takes more efforting. George Soros and his foundation were responsible for this Afghan migrant, for this Afghan. I mean, he came here technically legally. He was resettled here to the tune of millions and millions. Who knows how much money it took to take some terrorist from Afghanistan and bring him to America so that he could kill American troops on our city streets instead of trying to do so in Kabul or wherever. This is incredible. Everyone is cheering for this. President Trump announces full suspension of third world immigration and states the policy now is reverse migration. Reverse migration is coming. Get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what must happen. There is no other way. We have millions of people in this country that are incompatible with the West, and they wish us harm. And that's also true in the case of England, and in the case of France, and in the case of a number of Western nations. Suicidal policies from our politicians created these crises. And in any immigration policy, the question must be asked, is this good for our nation? Does this benefit our country? Does our country gain anything from this individual coming into the nation? And the answer to that, almost exclusively, when it comes to third world migration and third world policies and practices, is no. That's proven out in the data. It's proven out in the welfare data, in the net addition or subtraction from GDP. That's proven out in social cohesion. That's proven out in the crime numbers. I mean, it's indefensible. It's indefensible unless you're a Democrat and you want to flood your congressional districts with persons, as the Constitution says, that means more power for you, and then give them Social Security cards so they can vote for Democrats so they can get more benefits. There is no other explanation for this. This was President Trump. Photo of President Trump before making these comments. He's pissed. He's literally pissed, and you should be pissed too. This is how you coalesce the MAGA base together again. These are the policies that we elected President Trump for. I'm thrilled to see this. The practice of unlimited third world criminal immigration is indefensible and culturally suicidal. Let's hope we haven't gone too far. And ladies and gentlemen, pray for President Trump. I'm thankful for President Trump this Thanksgiving. Godspeed. Let's go save America. It's your boy Betty. See ya.